Y'all better check out TellEmLook.com.
What they're
That's
putting
right,
out there is all fucking
TellEmLook.com.
fake. It's all fake. You gotta believe me.
It's just a lot of shit is fake. It's just to get you to, you know.
And you have to understand that I am a preacher's daughter, so I see everything firsthand from a spiritual standpoint, and none of that aligns with anything else that you're told. And it kills me because I have to even tell my dad all the time, like, seriously, where are you getting this from when we are talking about the Bible when we go by the King James Version? King James was a white man. And a pedophile. And gay. And
all
incestual.
Gay pedophiles back then, from what I see.
And he wrote, or he supposedly transcribed, right? Interpreted.
Because the person
these books that were written in a language in which he wasn't familiar with. And then the question is if you never spoke in the biblical tongue, who was alive at that time when the King James Bible was written to tell you that that's what that says?
Monks.
What monks?
The people
you think there's still monks right now that can speak the actual biblical tongue?
Yeah.
Who taught it?
Because it's a lineage of them. It's like a secret society of them that only know that shit. And a lot of the stuff comes
the
from
secret societies.
No.
Now we can have the secret society conversation. That's too deep.
Do you believe in them?
I absolutely believe that there's a. I know that in myself, I have my. I believe that I have my own group of friends, and I believe that in my group of friends, the conversations can sometimes be a point where you have to reel that shit in with what our thoughts and ideas can be about life and about different things. If that be the case, and that's just me and my normal friends, I can only imagine what some people who have nothing but time and more resources and more money can think of and conjure up. Absolutely.
But it's all it's all.
Absolutely.
Did you ever, like, you said you grew up like in the 80s and stuff like that? Like,
yes.
Do you remember that game Risk? It was a game where they talked to this kind of like different kingdoms and stuff going against each other and trying to take over, like.
Is it a video game type of stuff?
No, it was a board game because that's what they had back. Yeah, like the Monopolies, shoots and ladders. Like
yeah, no.
But anyways,
but I was cold in Monopoly.
But see, even Monopoly itself, that was a desensitization, kind of like to get us ready, kind of like.
It all is.
Yeah,
it all is. The game of life. The game of life when your baby dies at the hospital because guess what? They didn't have health care for everyone, but you didn't know that when you were 7 in the game of life and your baby died at the hospital.
You have to get insurance. You got to get it. You have to, like at the
it's
start,
all set. We've been set up from the beginning. That's all I know. And here's why I don't believe that King James interpreted the Bible to be exactly what it should be as far as the biblical tongue is concerned. Because even right now to this day, you guys got kids.
No.
You got kids old enough to write and in school and stuff, right? We all do. So we know that our kids to this day cannot fucking read or write cursive.
I heard they took it out.
They cannot read or write cursive. The generation of kids, my kids are 11 and 12. They cannot read and they cannot write in cursive.
They're bringing it back.
But here's what I'm saying. If it only took from our generation to our children's generation to completely not even know how to write in cursive, you can't tell me that you still have motherfuckers out there from the biblical tongue times who was still alive for King James and said, hey, I got that. Yeah, see, what they were saying was is Jonah, see, he was in this well. And what the fuck were you talking about? That is not what that says. You made that shit up.
You saying that shit has definitely been skewed.
Do you know what the Bible,
absolutely skewed. Absolutely.
Do you know where the Bible came from?
King James.
No. It came from the Council of Nicene. And that came from the Emperor Constantine. He was the last fucking emperor of Rome and stuff before it fucking collapsed. What they did was they implemented a lot of Christianity belief, which was the new religion that was coming up.
Right, because everyone used to be Protestant or Catholic.
Right. No. Back then, you were either fucking Roman or you were dead. Back then, you know what I'm saying?
Roman was taking over that whole.
Now when Rome fell, they were being. There was an uprising of a new religion that we know today as Christianity. Now what they did is that they implemented both together, like the Roman belief, which was paganism and orgies and different like type of shit with energies and shit like that, and with this new religion that came up. and that's what we still have to this day. That is like the fucking Vatican, which is the Roman Catholic Church, is control over all religion that's around the world, which is linked to Christianity.
Right.
So if you listen to what I just said, the Vatican with the Roman Catholic religion, Rome Catholic, which is the new fucking religion that was coming up, the Christianity shit, right? So now the person that's at the top of it, which is the Pope, he's the one that's over everything. Like all the people that we see, like T.D. Jakes, fucking Joel Osteen, who else? Fucking Kenneth Copeland. All of them motherfuckers all answer to the Pope. All.
So you think to this day that they still answer to the Pope?
Hell yeah.
Then if that's the case, then we know it's all fake, because what the fuck? The Pope is out here raping the fuck out of children and allowing that shit to happen. The Vatican is hiding all of these priests who are molesting,
the Vatican
raping.
doesn't answer to nobody though. The Vatican is the only place in the whole
That's the
wide world.
ultimate society then.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate secret society, would be the Vatican.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's horrible.
It's the truth. That's like, I mean,
but there are also the ones, if you actually research it behind the scientific facts, who also back up the theory of the fact that the Earth didn't happen, as far as they have all these scientific theories. They back up the fact that mankind was still started, even though they don't believe how we do in like African American history or whatever, they still believe that the first people happened in Africa. Like, they're still believers of that.
They have no choice.
I think we should just take it all back to there.
They have no choice with the most dominant gene, no matter what.
I love those from the talk shit.
And you know the reason why? Because like, look at you. Like your hair is what? Dark, black, and stuff like that. Your eyes or dark brown and shit. If you have a child, 9 times out of 10, since that's the dominant gene on you, and like if you got with somebody else that have the same, they're gonna have the same thing. Even if you was with a white person and stuff, a lot of your genes is gonna come out more and stuff because that's the most dominant trait. Their shit is like, it's a recessive trait, which is weak. So that's basically like a mutation.
Because they don't have melanin.
Yeah, because they are a mutation. That's what I'm saying. They're like fucking cave dwelling salamanders.
That nigga came back around and said, "You ain't gonna pull up."
Cave dwelling salamanders.
Yeah, have you ever seen one? The motherfuckers are albino white.
But that does.
That's where they came
kind of
from.
describe white people.
That's where they came from. The Caucasoid Mountains. That's where they came from. The Caucasoid Mountains and fucking. It's like
white people, Caucasian came from the Caucasoid Mountains.
Just what you said. Look what you just said. Their
what
name.
The fuck?
Listen to it. You said Caucasian, right?
Yeah.
Caucasoid Mountains. Caucasian. Caucasoid Mountains. They were the Caucasoid peoples that came from. No, they came from a cave. They are the original caveman. We won. We're the ones that brought their bitch asses out. We should have.
Some dumbass nigga, man.
Man,
I'm telling you.
That's horrible.
No, we set up there. We set
But truth be told, no, you can't record this because this is very controversial. But truth be told, I absolutely 100% agreed with Kanye West's statement that he had made about slavery. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought that was good. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What I'm saying is,
how the fuck is that?
just like you backed up and said
what Killmonger said. What you
mean?
Saying, huh? What Killmonger said when right before he died, my nigga, don't save me, bro. My ancestors knew best. I'd rather drown and die before he put a bondage on me.
I'm gonna tell you why I agree.
Put a bondage on my life.
Because I'm not saying that it was a choice as in the choice that we are reserved today to where we get up and we say, hey, I am or I am not gonna go to work. I'm not saying like that, but what I'm saying is that mentally we caved into what they were imposing on us as far as breaking down our mental status that kept us enslaved for as long as it did. Because just like you said, we are the dominant race, are we not? Africans were the dominant race. And those were actual Africans, not us niggas today. Those were real African from the motherland Africans. If there were so many of them, if you counted up how many they brought over each ship, we outnumbered them 8 to 1. 8 to 1. If all of us found a way in a system to pass, just like we found a way to pass around the message about the Underground Railroad, if we had passed along the message, today is the motherfucking day, we could have got the fuck out of there.
let me ask. Hey, what's the longest?
You see Django?
What's the longest y'all
You gotta
niggas went
fuck
without
them
eating?
people up.
What's the longest y'all went without eating?
I've gone. I actually did 13 days of a nothing but water fast.
13 days water fast. About you, like what?
Man, I eat every day, man.
No, but I'm saying like nigga, when you was down, like you know what I'm saying, like that you could remember, like you know what I'm saying.
So
like,
you're saying we were malnutritioned?
Hold on, listen to me. I'm not saying that. I'm saying these motherfuckers were in chains, right? They were already
Not on a 24/7 basis.
No,
Oh, you're talking about on the boat.
Yes, they were. When they were sitting up there, it was like you said, all of these people, right? These motherfuckers was in chain, already captured, in chain. They have a fucking a unit that's here in Texas that's called Go Re. That's the same fucking island that was the people that we are all linked to that came over here. The island of Go Re, which was nothing but a big ass penitentiary that had nothing but all these slave motherfuckers that was already captured, getting beat the fuck up. Their women was being raped, kids was being taken away from them and shit. And then that's before the motherfucking pale faces came. So now hold up. Because they're being prepared to get put on ships like cargo. So there was people that was like, hey, I'm not getting on that shit. Oh yeah? Whoop his ass, beat him up. Oh, cut his head off. No, cut his hand off because he can still use the other one. And that's before they even got on the motherfucking, like, the water. You know what I'm saying? So you had other people like Haiti. That was the people that resisted. They was like, nah, fuck that. We gonna go against them. But then you also have people that also resisted another way. They jumped off the fucking boat. They're like, nah, I'm not going into captivity. That's the reason why the great white shark had a motherfucking a pattern that, like, when they have like mating season and shit like that, they have a migration pattern that they go eat and shit like that. They changed that shit up to follow the fucking boats because they was eating our ancestors off. But that was just before they even got here. When they got here, they got to what we have right now, which is Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? We were being sold like stock. That's where we get stock from.
Right.
And then when motherfuckers was sitting up here not understanding, like, hey, look, get your bitch ass up there on that soapbox.
For that very reason.
Do you know the
and they
reason
settled
why?
there
Because
before
Shaka
they found
Zulu
out.
sat up there and gave the fucking land to them. They
But
were
what
not,
I'm saying is they came, they invaded, and they settled.
When?
And they were there for years before
he gave
they
it
took.
to them. The Zulus was
Before
whooping
they
their ass.
took Zulus
that was
or
the
whoever
British
from
people. That
Africa.
was British. It was the British people.
Before
the
they
United
took
Kingdom.
them though from Africa, before they took them from Africa, I'm talking about United States slavery. I'm not talking about British slavery, Dominican Republic slavery.
No. See, you
all
gotta,
South America had slavery.
It was the slave
Australia
trade.
had slavery.
Yes, it was the triangle slave trade.
So I'm talking about just the United States alone.
But
when
by
you
that time,
when you talk about our ships,
by the time that
they
the
had
United
already
States
been in
entered,
Africa for years.
Because of the Spaniards. The Spaniards
So
are the
then
ones
why
that started
the fuck
shit.
did you go and agree to be in anything when you just saw that the British had done this to the Spaniards?
Have you ever had a gun put to your face?
Absolutely, actually have. Twice.
Have you ever had somebody pull the fucking trigger?
But if you saw somebody get killed, you gonna stand
okay,
around?
if I saw somebody get killed, you fucking right. If somebody gets shot, the first thing that they gonna do is
But there's
be like,
480 of you to 20 of them.
To a fucking gun that makes it like
right. So
like
kill. So they could kill with all their bullets at the time. You got to remember what the guns were like back then.
We didn't have no
but
bullets.
I'm saying, given how their bullets, loaders, and guns worked back in the day.
Exactly.
I'm saying it right here, and then they get popped and get in line.
That's what it is.
No, you're getting.
I'm listening to what you're saying. Like,
I'm one person, and I have 10 bullets. I killed 10 of you, right? Pop, 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 pop,
But
pop.
we don't know how many
20
bullets
should.
you have. I don't know that.
I don't know, they got 10. He got
You
gotta
got
have
somebody had to have been on the camera, maybe like, see how many, like,
you know what? She
But
got
that's what I'm
13
saying.
shots.
But no, what I'm saying is they weren't
coulda
new
charged
to
them.
guns.
Yes, they
because
were.
had already been settled in Africa for
They
years.
were new to
He
guns.
stopped shooting.
Because that's how they settled into
By
Africa.
the time slavery got to the United
because they didn't like
States,
they just had like automatic, just like
they had
Yeah,
already
they couldn't
known
have
about
automatic.
those ships that
I don't
came
know the
directly
fear
to
of
the
that
United
back then.
States.
Before now, it would
We just
automatic.
go so much Joe get popped. Now I'm getting
Those
in line,
particular
bro.
Africans had
I don't know
already
what automatic
been
is
invaded,
anyway right
had
now,
already
so,
been
yeah.
settled upon by white men, had already been enslaved to different countries before it
No,
came to
it
the
was-
U.S.
it
was
was
not
the
simultaneous.
It was the
But the
Spaniards.
Spaniards did not automatically come to the U.S. They went to
Yes,
the
they
South
did,
American
because that
countries.
was
They
part
went
of
to
the
the
triangle
Dominican
trade.
Republic.
No,
They went
listen
to
me,
Puerto
listen to me.
Rico. They went to
Listen to me.
Colombia.
The triangle trade. Listen. If I'm coming from Spain, right? I'm coming straight from Spain with this is yours. Boom, here goes Africa. I get the cargo. Now I got to sit up here and fucking deliver the cargo to places that need them, which you're coming through to the United States and you're gonna go through the Caribbean. That's the reason
and
why
that's where they settled first.
Exactly.
Like you got Brazil and all them niggas is black.
And you know what? It was easily conquerable. They found out that you could be like, okay, we can irrigate these motherfuckers for sugar. We can irrigate them.
But that's what I'm saying is they had already done all that. So
Because
by the time the slave trade came to the United States,
it was already booming.
We knew what the fuck guns were. They knew. Oh, they just took Shakula and
that's the reason why.
And they killed all of them. Yes, because that's what they said. Oh, they took Manula and they took all of them and they died. Why the fuck are we gonna go over there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck would we go over there? And they just took Manula and them and killed them.
Because you got no choice.
We had a choice because we had way more of them over there than we did over here. Now, once we got here, it was all mental. And I get that. But before we even got to that point, you got to think there was 20 to 25 men manning ships that had 400 to 800 something slaves on it.
Guns. You are missing guns.
They can't kill everybody
the
with the guns that they had back in the day.
Look,
now they have semi-automatics. I can understand that happening, but back then they didn't. They had them fucking big old bell rifles.
Let me show you this right here. Look, check this out. We are all up in this motherfucker right here. How many men's up in this motherfucker? Like, just do a head count.
There's 5 of us.
Oh, no. How many men are in here?
4.
Okay, now check this out.
There's 5 of us.
There's 5
men.
Yeah, but check this out. If some motherfuckers come busting in this door right now, white boys, armed to the teeth, and they say they want you know what I'm saying? And any one of you niggas make a move, we gonna bust your ass. Who you think is gonna move?
How many white boys?
It doesn't even matter if it's 2 of them motherfuckers.
If it's 1,
and they
I expect one of you motherfuckers to take a bullet.
But they...
From my ass. What the fuck?
To the teeth.
Armed to what teeth?
That means that they got like...
They have a musket, because that's what they have back then.
No, not a musket. I'm talking about shit now. I'm talking about now.
But they didn't have the guns now then.
Who's going to move? Who do you think is going to move?
I don't know. I just think that people should know this.
I mean, that's like...
I am not my ancestors.
You got to think... Okay, I understand that, but you got to think about that right now and take it all the way back. That many hundreds of years.
But I do think about that, and I'm just thinking that if I saw for the last 50 to 60 years that they were coming and taking our asses by the buttloads, motherfuckers were never coming back, these niggas got guns, these niggas is white, like by then somebody should have band together. But that's the thing, is we don't, and even to this day we don't fucking band together.
I'm gonna ask you a question. What would you do right now, if they reverse that shit?
What are you talking about?
Listen, if they was
if they were rounded, I would be one of those people with the voice that say, y'all, we gotta get the fuck together and rebel against these motherfuckers because we outnumber them. I would take a bullet though for my people and for the greater part of humanity.
And then you know what else? The people that you just died for is gonna do this. Line up and get on the motherfucking boat.
No,
we just seen
brains
got blown
but
out.
that's the thing. I would hope that my people would be strong enough to also take that bullet before you went out there and started picking that cotton, bruh. I hope that you would be willing to take that bullet.
I hear you.
I'm just saying. I would like to think that this generation of people.
There was a lot of things that motherfuckers seen, and there's a lot of things that they didn't even talk about. Do you understand that they had sex camps?
Oh, I know.
Where they took like females and men.
I understand.
They would like take the biggest motherfucker and be like, you know what, I'm gonna take him right here and I'm gonna put him in this like shit right here, and he's gonna be totally exposed. And I'm gonna take about like 10 or 15 more of the motherfuckers and I'm gonna bring them up in here. And I'm gonna sit up here and sodomize this motherfucking man in front of them, and everybody's gonna be like, nah, that ain't gonna happen to me, so what do you want me to do? And the same way like how they did with the females. And then you sit up here and you say like, oh, it was a choice. What Kanye said was ignorant as shit.
No, the way he said it absolutely was ignorant, but I'm saying I understand what he meant as far as the fact that we should have and we need to at some point as a race band together without the fear of the persecution and fight against our oppressor.
We've done that.
When?
We had the Black Panther Party, you know what I'm saying?
And what happened? They took about 10 of those major top people out and everyone got scared and let the fucking movement
because the
die.
motherfuckers died. They were getting locked up and
10
killed.
to the hundreds that you left here to suffer in the fact that people still.
Because they didn't want to end up like the martyrs.
Out of those 10, I want the 10 the strongest.
As I'm saying, I can't though. I cannot
So just
believe
like even
that us as a people would still mentally be able to conform rather than to
martyrs of our own
confront.
time. We have martyrs of our own time. I
That's
still
the
don't even
perfect
believe
example
to this
of
day,
today.
but we have martyrs to our own time.
Well, let me tell you right
who
now,
was one
baby
of our-
boy,
one of
you
our
just
biggest
met a
martyrs?
straight martyr because I will completely confront before I conform.
I feel you. I feel you.
All the way.
And it sounds,
if they
and it
took you
sounds
right
real
now and
good.
put you in a sex camp and I saw them fuck the shit out of you,
No, you
I
not
would
gonna
break
see that
the
happen
neck.
because
I would
going
break
to
the
have to
neck
kill
of the
myself
motherfucker
because
who
we
brought the
fucked up.
15 of us in there to watch that shit.
No, I am going to have to kill myself. Like, fuck that. You got me fucked up. But I'm telling you.
I'm just saying, you just said if they had already done it to him and him, that you would
I'm
get
talking
in
about
line.
back in the
But
gap.
who's to say they couldn't reverse that now? You know, these white folks out here is gay.
They are doing that. That's the reason why they're showing so much of the gay shit to our kids.
Because they're trying to mentally make us conform.
Exactly.
Rather than for us to confront.
But
You
who's
gotta
going
be
to confront?
I confront
like
it every
you
day.
said, you say you're ready to set,
When it comes
set
to
up
the
a
gays,
revolution, but how many other people gonna stand up with you?
I'm trying to find them. I really am.